is, or flattening, you know, is starting to increase, starting to creep into the middle here, which is what I'm looking for. And I'm just holding this flat on the stone and running it back and forth, nothing fancy, turning it a little bit each time. And that's it. That's just patience, and hopefully it's going to flatten this out. So we're finally starting to make our way into the middle area there. It's been a few minutes. We'll keep at it. So we're really getting close now. Just that middle part, just a little bit more. Okay, so we're finally just about there. A couple more passes. So as I'm finishing this up, the technique I've been using is just to rotate every few strokes so you get the whole surface, because the stone is slightly smaller than the disc. So just keep rotating it. I'm not using any kind of water or oil because this is plastic. And seems to be working out pretty good. This is a medium grit grinding stone. Just finish this up. All right, so this turned out pretty good. We'll see how it performs. There you go. So now the whole thing is flat, and this gasket, when it sits on top, will now be, hopefully there'll be no gaps as it travels across the surface. It should be nice and flush and tight so the powder doesn't leak out. Now I'm going to be trying to load 158 grain XTP with H110. So my first time doing this, so I don't have a disc worked out yet, but I'm going to try the 1.09. Although Lee's data says a 0.95, I find their data to be a little on the light side. So there's my 1.09. I'll be trying that one. I'll let you know how it works out. So here's how this kind of sits down on here. Again, I got the 1.09. And as I've mentioned in some of my other posts, I'm focused on this gasket and how it rides on the top of the disc. So what I do is I tighten up this side first. It seems that's been my previous issues. The powder leaks out on this side. So if I tighten this side first and lock this down, and then tighten the other left side second, that seems to have solved the problem for the most part. All right, let's run our first case through and see what happens. Sorry for the moving camera, but I'm a one-man show. Prime. It's nice to check the primers. Okay. So now we're gonna zero this. check it. All right. Here we go. So that's the first one. There might not be nothing in there. Let's try that again. Oh, hold on. Here we go. On. You don't see that in many YouTube videos. Gotta turn it on, people. All right. What do we got? 16.4. Ooh. That's pretty good. That's kind of what we want because this is the Lee load data. 15 minimum, 16.7 max. That could be a winner. We'll see if we get some consistent throws there. 16.4. That's a pretty good guess on the 1.09 disc setup. Stay tuned. All right, let's see this second run through if we get a consistent.
I believe the doorstop.
Okay, forgot to zero the scale on that last one. Let's see what happens here. 16.4, 16.5. Okay, well, that is pretty close to max. 16.7 is max. Do another one. Okay, so here's third attempt. 0, 0, and let's see what it says. 16.4, 16.5. Okay, 16.5. Whoop. Oh boy. Jumping around a little there, huh? All right. Test a few more. We're up to number 4. 16.4, 16.5. Ooh, 16.6. All right, well, we're at max. 16.7 is max, so these are going to be pretty spicy. Pretty spicy. So again, this is H110. We're on the 1.09 auto disc. This is 158 XTP. First time working with this candelore. And the overall length is 1.58. 2 maybe? Something like that. So there's your seating. And then your crimping. And they're pretty consistent. Like I said, 1.58 and change. Let's see if I can get this on the That's not coming out right. One-man camera show here, people. 0. Let's see if I can get this. 1 point. You see that? 1.6. What did I say? Uh-oh. 1.57. That ain't good. That's too low. Let me check my measurements here. So I was getting some inconsistent reads from my caliper here, which confused me because my dummy rounds were measuring 1.58 and change, 582. I don't know. And then when I went to put powder in, now it says 1.584. 1.581. So this thing is not a Harbor Freight special here. Went back to the old Sears, the old dial indicator, and 1.58 and change. So that's good. 1.580 is supposed to be the minimum. So, yeah, 1.580. That's cutting it close. But at least it's not under. That one's a little over. 1.58 and change. So it pays to have a couple of these around and a couple scales. But as far as our setup goes with the auto disc, 1.09 seems to be what I'm going to use, putting me up around max, just slightly below. I think I've mentioned as well in other videos, I had to machine this, I had to file this down here, this part, to get this to pull correctly. But the powder leakage, I don't see any yet. Keep an eye on that. Hopefully that's resolved. So H110, 16.6 or 7, 5, 6, 7. That was in the range there. With the charge. And we'll do a run. See how it all goes. Thanks for watching.